Right. So, hi everyone. Let me get my microphone good. Probably can't hear me. Hi everybody. So I'm waiting for some people to hop on, but hi. As you all come in, tell me where you're watching from. Wait for social media, to notify people. Let's see. I'm gonna click out all this extra stuff I have going on. Comments. All right, cool. So, hi everybody. My name is LaShawn Jenkins with the Notary Institution, and I coach and I mentor Notary signing agents on starting their Notary signing agent business. So, in today's video, what I really want to go over is just some tips on how you can be a successful Notary signing agent in this current time. As we all may know, times have changed. But before I get into that, I always like to say hello to everyone that's coming in the chat. How you doing, Miss Jacqueline? How are you? Tell me where you watching from. I know Jacqueline's in Texas. We have Wisconsin. Ooh, I messed that all up, but it's all right. Minnesota, Pennsylvania. Hey, Shayna or Miss Boykin. Baltimore, Maryland for Key Boiling. How you doing? Oh, my internet is definitely a little janky. Hold on. Let me see. I need to fix this. I don't know why my internet be streaming all slow when I get on here. I probably need a new Wi-Fi box or something. And I'm not even running it on Wi-Fi. But anywho, hi everyone. So today's video, I just want to really, hey Joanne, how are you? I just really want to give some tips on how you could be successful as a signing agent in this current time. Because right now, it's a little harder to become a signing agent, to be honest with y'all. Especially for people who are brand new. Some of the signing companies are getting a lot stricter on who they let in. It's getting really strict now, and it's a lot different compared to when I started, and even when people have started, maybe I don't know, 10 years ago. It's a lot different now, and they are making it a lot harder, in my opinion, to for new people to get on. And I believe they're doing that just because of certain things that people are doing out here that are not right. And people are really not really putting that best foot forward, and they're not taking this business as serious as they should. A lot of people are just starting just to hurry up and make some quick money, which I understand we all need money. We want to make the money, but let's be right. Let's be right when we're doing that in the process. Make sure we are taking the steps so that we can be a successful notary signing agent. And it's not even things like that are common. You're going to make mistakes, but some of it is just really getting to the point where it's careless, it's reckless behavior, if you ask me. And it's happening all over in the online space. Like, to be honest, it's happening all over. People scamming people, people charging for, I'm not even gonna get into it, but it's all kinds of things happening. So, how many people on here right now that's watching? How many of you all are already loan signing agents? And if you are, tell me where you're at in your notary signing agent journey. I have Miss Tanya from Florida, or I'm sorry, Miss Tony from Florida. So the first tip I have, so as you can see, the title of the video was 6 tips to be a successful loan signing agent in 2021. And actually, I have 10. I just put 6 up there because sometimes I think if you give people too much, they be like, "Oh, I don't want to hear 10." But I have 10 tips for you all. But even though the video is 6, so just a thing, if you are in a Facebook group right now, right, you do have to give permission for a StreamYard to see your name. Because right now I can't see who you are. I can just see your comments. But you're always welcome to hop onto the YouTube channel at the Notary Institution, and you can watch. I'll be able to see your name, and we can engage with each other like that. All right. So the first tip I have is before you become a loan signing agent, and before you think about becoming one, is go ahead and educate yourself first. And when I mean exactly, what to educate yourself on, first of all, your state. figure out what you can do as a loan signing agent in your state first. I feel like what's happening too is people are really getting into it, and then they're realizing that there's certain things they can and cannot do as a loan signing agent in a particular state. And that particularly kind of goes for like some of the Georgia notaries, some of the people are Maryland, and it's several different places. Connecticut's also attorney state, but people are hopping into this business and not really fully understanding what they can do as a loan signing agent, and then not only what they can do, how the process may work in your state. Because in every state, I mean, to be honest, is different for everybody. You may see one person being able to do loan signings on their own and no problem, but then you hear other people, they need an attorney present to do the loan closings. And it's very important for you to know that, so that you'll be able to do those closings correctly, and you could be right out here and not get sued or anything, or be held liable for anything because you failed to do your due diligence. Because at the end of the day, everything that you do in this business honestly is your responsibility, and it does fall back on you. So you do want to make sure that before you even think about becoming a loan signing agent, because I know I had people watching from all over, and I know people in Maryland that need the TPL. There's certain requirements that they must meet before they can do loan signings. So first, before you even think about becoming a loan signing agent, make sure you can fulfill those requirements first, and make sure you know what the requirements are to become a loan signing agent in your state, because every state is different. And to be honest, the best way to really find out that information, guys, we have a whole organization that just make it easy for us, and that is the National Notary Association. Honestly, they make it really easy for you. Like, you don't need to shop around. You don't need no Facebook groups to ask no questions. You can go on the National Notary Association website, and when you click your state and you want to become a loan signing agent, they tell you all the requirements that you need to be able to do loan closings in your state. It's going to tell you if you need an attorney present and everything. So that is very important. Another thing too, a lot of people tend not to think about. So in order to do loan signing agent work, you need a separate background check done. And this background check is separate from the one that your state give you. This is a whole separate background check. So with that being said, that background check is issued by the National Notary Association. Now, like I said, before you think about becoming a signing agent, look at all these prereqs first. And there is cases where, I have students actually who had them situations where they signed up to become a notary, they passed, but then when it came time for them to do that background check as a loan signing agent, they failed that background check because that background check has different requirements. that background check, like, honestly, they include traffic tickets, violations, and for some of those people, that stuff like really adds up to where it's those 25 points. And matter of fact, let me give you the resource guide for you all while I'm here. I'm looking at your comments, guys. I just want to make sure I get out this information. Let me see. But you want to make sure that you're able to pass the background check for the loan signing portion, because people, again, it ain't nothing like you go out, you spend all this money to go get the tools, you become a notary. The next thing you know, you like, dang, you can't even do the signing agent portion because you didn't pass the background check. And I don't want nobody to get into this and feel like they was misled or anything like that. I want people to be informed when they become a loan signing agent. So it's very important before you even, once when that thought becomes that you want to be a loan signing agent, start looking at the requirements first and looking at what you need to do to become a loan signing agent in your state, and understand what you can and cannot do as a loan signing agent in your state. And that's very important for you to do. Do that back research first. So let me see. Let me see. I'm up here trying to pull up the comments. Let's see. We have Georgia folks. How you doing, Georgia? Who is Hampton Diva? Hey, how are you? Thank you for your honesty. Do you still have the Sunday class for 169? Miss Ladiva, did have to up the price, guys, on the Texas class. I actually emailed you. So yes, I do still have the Texas training open to answer your question. But let me pull up this background check for you all. Let me see. Okay, so Miss Lady Virtue said, "Do I need to take any other background checks?" No, you shouldn't have to. Should not have to. And that's only if you took the loan signing portion, right? Hey, Kurt, how you doing? We had a nice conversation today. I believe it's $189. We had a nice conversation. You know what, Kurt? I made this video because that conversation we had earlier today when I was telling you about, there's a lot of new notary signing agents, and it is a little bit harder for the signing agents to get through, especially new people. Now they're kind of like not trying to give new people a new chance, which I understand. It's cool, but a lot of this have to do with us, taking responsibility for things. So let me see. I'm trying to pull this up for you all. Here it is. Or I could probably just screen share it. So let me just screen share this real fast. Okay. Dang. Okay, cool. So this is the example of the background check standard. I'm gonna put this link in here too, matter of fact. But this is for the loan signing agent portion. So they go back 10 years and you can't get no more than 25 points. So if you get more than 25 points, you automatically will not pass this background check to do loan signings. So before you go ahead and purchase that packet with the loans, I don't know how the refund process work over there. I'll be honest with you all. That's not my business formation over there. But what I do know is that I don't believe in wasting your money, and I am going to take the chance. So before you even go purchase that background check, make sure you could qualify for it. Accumulation of 25 points will automatically disqualify you for that background. And you want to make sure you do that research to make sure you pass it. So that way you're not wasting your money out here on things that you don't need. And it gives you a list of all the charges and how many points each charge is worth against you. And they do have on here like little traffic violations, fairy tale based stop sign. I believe like if you get too many speeding tickets, it's just some of the stuff, little petty stuff, in my opinion, but it can add up. I'm not sure. Some get a lot of violations when driving. For all this stuff can add up. So you want to make sure to do that research before you go ahead and purchase that background check. All right, perfect. So I was sharing that. Okay, so next thing is, let me pull up my next thing on my list. Next thing is, before you start getting into loan signings, because right now when you first start off, you should be in the educating phase, educating/researching phase. Next thing is, learn your laws as a notary. That is honestly what's going to make you successful as a notary signing agent. Making sure that you know your laws, like know your laws as a notary, knowing what you can and cannot do, know exactly how to actually execute notarial acts. And that is very important, understanding your state laws as a notary, because that is really what determines how you do these loan signings, to be honest. Some people are not aware of their state laws. Sometimes people don't know, as something as simple as, can I use a photocopy of an ID to verify the identity? Well, to be honest, that goes back to your state laws. What does your state say? And what does your state allow? I know here in Texas, that's not allowed. A photocopy of the ID is not a thing. We need the actual ID. That's exactly what you do. Okay, let me see. I won't go on these comments. I have not started yet until I get familiar and comfortable with the process. I need a mentee to walk me through each signing until. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, Miss Lady Virtue. Good luck on finding someone to walk you through every signing. To be honest, sometimes really, to be honest, I feel like that's overkill. But really, what it is, if you take a really good training program, that one, well, it's like a process, right? First thing is understanding your state laws, knowing what you can and cannot do. And you could learn more about your state laws either on your Secretary of state website, or Georgia, the Superior. I already be getting tongue tied, but the Superior Court office. You can find out the laws about there, or the Georgia State Handbook, as Samantha Smith always uses. Also, too, you can go on Amazon and look up like the law notary primer books for your particular state and study that book, read that book, and really have a clear understanding of the law as a notary. Because every state is honestly different on what you can and cannot do. But to be honest, know exactly what you can and cannot do as a notary first. I believe that is the foundation for you to be a successful loan signing agent. Not only be a successful loan signing agent, but also knowing what you can and cannot do as a notary is literally going to help you with the loan closings. Like, it's going to make you feel you're going to be confident, because you're not going to be worrying. You're not going to worry about, if you know what to do as a notary, you're not going to worry about little silly things, that mistakes that happen, because really you know that you did right. You know that you did everything in accordance with law. And that's what really matters, is honestly learning exactly that foundation about how to be a notary in your state. Like, that is the most important thing. And because every state is different. So let me see. So Mr. Stevenson said, I'm in Georgia. Where do I find out if I qualify for the background check? I thought I put it in here. I'm sorry. If you're on Facebook, you won't be able to see the links. But if you go on YouTube, I put it in there. But you can go on the NNA website and they actually have the requirements right there for the background check. Hopefully that answers your question. How you doing, Melissa? Great to see you. How do I take this off? Okay, there we go. How do you execute notarial acts? Ms. Lady Virtue, I'm gonna be honest with you, that might be a video for a different day. To be honest, but kind of to briefly answer your question, really depends on what type of notarial act that you're executing. Um, that's what I could help you with that one. All right, so let me see. I already went over the duties. Oh, understand your duties as a loan signing agent, and that is the most important thing. Well, one of the most important things. Understand what is your duties as a loan signing agent. What is your job there? And our ultimate job there, honestly, is to be able to identify the person that's right in front of us. That's our duty, to properly identify that person. That, hey Katrina, how you doing? That is our job. That is our duty. And if you understand that, trust me, if you understand the basics of being a notary, when you do loan closings, not even loan closings, but when you do anything else with that notary stamp or that notary seal, honestly, you're going to do it. You're going to feel confident. You're like, okay, I know what I can and cannot do. Now, are you just doing the see and figure out what they're trying to tell you to do, and you're going to filter if you can and cannot do it, just like that. But everything boils down to you knowing what to do as a notary in your state. In your state, though. You can sometimes be all in the mix, looking at what other people are doing, watching people videos, yada yada yada, because everyone's in different places and different locations. And then too, some people doing some janky stuff out here. We just gonna put it out there. Some people are just, I don't know what they doing, but they just doing some jankies. They doing some janky things out here. Real janky. And matter of fact, even learning. So even for going back to knowing the foundation, um, knowing what you can charge. That goes back to your state laws as a notary. Can you even charge for loan signings? Make sure you can. Make sure it's something that you can do. To be honest, just make sure you could do it. Because some places you can't charge, for notarial services. So you really want to be clear on your state laws and understand them before you hop into doing the loan signing portion of it. Let me see. Do you need more stamps than just a notary stamp? Lady Virtue, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a little confused on that question. To be honest. All right, so let me see. My sister wants to know. Let me fix this. My sister wants to know when she moved here, can she use her lease? Oh, Miss Hampton, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. Probably call the Secretary of State for that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know how the residency work here in Texas like that. I mean, I've been living here, but I don't know. Thank you, Melissa. I appreciate that. All right, Miss Gerard, I'm gonna be on. Miss Lady Virtue. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna try to get through these tips, and then I'll try to answer your questions at the end. Because I like to try to stay on topic on tips on people being successful as a loan signing agent. But I will try to get back to those, or you can send me an email, and I'll reply to those as soon as I can. All right. So next tip, I already had that one. Um, Actually, you kind of go into the questions. So also have a full understanding on how to execute the different notarial acts. That is very important. Understanding the difference between an acknowledgement and a jurat, understanding when to execute an oath, understanding how to execute a copy certification, understanding how to properly execute the credible witness situation. And again, that goes back to your state laws and what they say on how it needs to be executed. That is very important to learn to know, because the thing is, some of these foundational things apply to the loan signings. So the signing company is not going to tell you how to properly execute if you have a witness what you should do. They're not going to tell you that. They're just going to be like, well, they need a witness and hope you make sure it's signed right. That's it. That's all they making sure. They just want their document signed. But it's your responsibility to make sure that those notarial acts are executed properly and correctly. It's 100% on you, and you don't want nothing to happen to you. You be held liable for something, especially if you're supposed to give an oath and you don't do it. I mean, anything can happen to you, and even though it's just you there, sometimes people be, people be talking and stuff. So you don't never want to be caught up into something because you failed to do something because you didn't know. Let me see. All right. So next thing is make sure that you have the proper supplies to do the loan signing job before you take on assignment. You know what? I think, well, you know what? We're going to go into that too. So let me make sure. Okay. Yeah. So make sure you have the proper tools. And when I mean tools, that involves training too. To be honest, your training cannot be word of mouth and what he say, she say. Make sure you have somewhere where you can reference back to for the information that you have learned. Not only training, make sure you have the tools, a printer, a scanner, a laser jet printer. Make sure that you know your laws as a notary. I'm telling you, it's so important because people are taking assignments, they're getting their commission, they're getting the background check, they're getting on SnapDocs and everything. But then turn around when it comes to the signing, they don't have none of the tools to do the signing. So what end up happening is they're like, oh, I'm just going to print it at FedEx. Print it at FedEx. Let's say you print it at FedEx, you print them all wrong. So what? Most people, some people, they're not even fixing it. They're just going to send those documents off anyway. Messed up because they're like, I ain't had the tools. It's so important for you to have the tools before you start loan signing business. Make sure you have a printer, scanner, computer, and also the knowledge that you know how to do a loan closing. It shouldn't be you should be in a situation where you're taking on a closing and at the last minute you're trying to find someone to hurry up and help you do the loan closing. And I have situations like that where people actually sent emails, messages, and it's kind of like they're like, this is my first signing. I have a signing in 15 minutes. Can you help me right now? And it's kind of like unfair to me because I'm like, I have stuff going on in my life and I can't just stop what I'm doing because you failed to prepare. That's not on me. That's on you. So make sure you're prepared to do these loan closings. Make sure that you have people in place that you can call especially if you're brand new and you don't have a training program or nobody you could talk to. Make sure you have something in place where so you can reference back to when you do get your signing. Nobody should be going on Facebook and panicking when they get their first signing like that. I don't think that's fair to people, and that's not fair to yourself. Because to me, it just shows you really didn't prepare yourself. Um, Lady Virtue, I have supplies. Like I have a list of video that I made on that on the supplies. All right. Let me see. So I already went over supplies. So like I said, laser printer, scanner, computer, certificate, paper, just little stuff like that. So let me see. Another tip I have here for being successful. Let me see. I think I might put this right here. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. I see. My bad. I wasn't sure if you was asking a question or if you were just saying things. I'm not sure. My bad. All right. So have the correct supplies. Oh, okay. So the next tip I have to be successful is, let me see, before you arrive to a loan closing, make sure you review those documents and look over them. Look over when you're looking over these documents. One, you want to make sure they printed off correctly. Two, you want to look for places where they may have to initial or sign. Or also, too, this is the time that you could take for documents that you really don't fully understand and you don't get an understanding of those documents. Try to get an understanding of the documents before you go out there. You can always call the signing company. I want to tell you, the signing, you could always call them and ask them. Or make sure that you have trained yourself a little bit on the documents. But really, all that document training stuff is sometimes a little too much. It's kind of like overthinking in a way. But the biggest thing, honestly, is you can have a set, review them, and then if you don't know what something means, you can get on Google and search and try to determine what that document means if you don't feel comfortable calling the signing company doing it. But it's very important for you to prepare for the loan closing before you arrive and make sure everything is done correctly, because people are making huge mistakes and it's costing. It's costing the signing companies to where so now they are making it harder. I mean, they really are making it hard for people to just sign up for signing companies now. Like it's not as easy as it used to be. I mean, I even seen something where basically they're not taking it. If you're new, the only way they're gonna take you is if you've been a notary you've been a notary or you have experience in the real estate industry. And if you don't have none of those, they're not even going to look at you to maybe 6 months to a year later. So it is very important to make sure that you are preparing yourself correctly before you arrive to the closing. Again, before you prepare, you always want to make sure that you review to see where they sign an initial at, and always double check your documents. And that's tip number 6. Always, always, always review your documents. Always tell people, review them when you at the signing table. Before you ship them off. If you're at FedEx, do a little quick overview. If you scan them, always make sure you review them documents. Like always check your work. Because sometimes checking at the signing table not enough. And I know for me, I don't know what it is about people staring at me when I'm trying to do something. I just don't like it. So I tend to be like, let me hurry up because these people just staring at me, and I have like anxiety. So it'll make me real anxious when people do that. So I know for me, yes, I would do that at the table, but also I know that I probably rushed at the table looking over it. So I'm always going to take another chance and look over it again, just in case I missed something, because I was going a little fast. Always, always, always review the documents before you send them off to the people. And when you're reviewing it, what you're looking for is any places where they need to fill out initial, places where you might make a mistake. You might forget your stamp somewhere. So you always want to make sure that you review these documents before you send them off. How you doing, Sid? I'm doing great. Let's see. I already did that. So I did say 6 tips, but we got some more tips I wanted to give. Number 7, make sure that when you sending off the loan documents, make sure you send them off correctly. And what I mean by correctly, if you put stickies on there, you need to take those off. Do not send loan documents back with sticky notes, flag it, post-its, whatever you put on there. Don't send that back. You need to take those off gently, so you don't tear them and everything. Paper clips, if you paper clipped it, take them off too. Matter of fact, I just take off everything. Let me sit up. But make sure that you are sending these loan documents back correctly. That's another thing that people are messing up too. And this stuff is little, but this stuff matters, to be honest. So when you send these loan documents back, make sure you send them back right. Remove the stickies. Make sure there's like you ain't spill nothing on there, food all on there, on the back of the documents. Make sure you stack them neatly. Because really all they want to do is put out them documents and scan them. No one wants to have to go through, take out your paper clips, remove all the sticky notes and stuff that you put on there. Nobody wants to do all that. Make sure you take that stuff off prior to sending off that package. And then too, if the signing company wants you to put them documents back in order, put them back in order. Don't mess up the signing packet. Like I think that's a huge pet peeve of the signing companies, to be honest, is people taking the documents all out. And I mean, not even critical documents here, guys. People just messing up the closing packets, to be honest with you. Make sure you put them packets back together. Especially if the signing instructions tell you, if the signing instructions tell you to do it, just do it. Just do it. You know what I'm saying? Don't do no extra stuff. Just do it. Just follow directions. And you know what? That's kind of going to one of my, that was the last. Know what? No, we ain't gonna do it. Okay, Mrs. Hampton, I look forward to seeing you here in Texas. Yay, I'm excited. Yeah, Smith. You know what? A lot of things can be common sense, but if someone doesn't know, it's all right because I don't mind sharing. If I want to share because sometimes maybe people just don't know. It's a new field, it's a new thing. I know for me, this is new. I know when I started, I didn't know nothing about real estate. I didn't get the process. I didn't understand anything, so to me, some of these things, like I would never known this unless I did it. Or if right now, if somebody was telling me, I won't have a full understanding. All right. Let me see. So I said, scan the document. Oh, I'm not even done. Make sure that you drop the loan package off in time. Drop it off on time. If you got to sign in at 8 a.m. in the morning, that package needs to go out that day. Period, point blank. That package you should not be taking your way to FedEx Tuesday morning. That package honestly needs to go out that day. Like that is your duty. That is your obligation that day. If you do a loan closing, your obligation that day is to make sure that package get back as soon as possible. There's no need to hold on it. When you get to it, yada, 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 you need to send it back. And I know some people are like, well, I don't feel like I go home. Well, if you know you don't like going home, then maybe you should set up a mobile setup in your car or something, I know me personally, that's not the thing. I didn't mind going back home to scan anything, because it don't faze me. Because I had a routine anyway on how I could do it. And I was cool. But make sure you get those documents back as soon as possible. Not when you feel like it and not when it's convenient for you. As soon as possible. Like literally as soon as possible. Next step. Tip number 8. Communicate. And when I mean communicate to all parties on all ends. Communicate with everyone that's in that transaction at the moment. So, for example, the first step of communication that you should take as a notary signing agent is the minute that you receive a notary signing agent appointment. It don't matter if it's Monday and you don't have the sign until Friday. Call the borrower and confirm that appointment with them immediately. That's the first thing you got to do. That's the first thing you should be doing is calling and confirming. The minute that you get confirmation that you are assigned to that assignment, call the borrower and confirm that loan signing appointment with the borrower. And after you confirm that appointment, then you turn around and you also let the signing company confirm with them that the borrower, you confirm the appointment with the borrower, and that's it. Leave it at that. Communicate everything. Even if, say, for example, you're going to be late for the signing, communicate that to the borrower. If you're in traffic, communicate that. Just don't leave people hanging, and just don't leave them hanging on the wind. Even after you finish the signing, communicate that the signing is done, and also communicate when you're going to have them documents dropped off. The communication aspect is very important in this business, because sometimes people are taking assignments, they're not calling the borrower or nothing. They just, I'll be there Friday, and nobody even knows them. So always make sure you communicate. Communication is going to get you really far in this business, especially if you want to be one of the top loan signing agents. Learning how to communicate is key. Even to be honest, even like me, I was communicating. I would communicate if the documents were late. I'm communicating that too to the borrower. Like I'm communicating that. I'm going to communicate. I'm gonna tell you. I'm straight up. I am communicating to the borrower. Like, look, especially if you, like, for example, the loan signing is at 4, and I knew I have to have these documents at least by 2:30, so I could print them and get dressed and be on time and all that. If I see that they don't have no documents, I start getting anxious myself, and I'm like, you know what? Let me call the borrower, let them know, like, hey, this a heads up that I'm waiting on the documents. We are still scheduled for 4 o'clock, but just in case, if they're not here, I might be there after. I'm going to call and see where the documents at, just like that. Communicate that to the borrower. Don't tell them at the last minute at 3:30 that you're going to be late. Because then once when you do that, then they might be a little disgruntled and stuff. I communicate like everything. It don't even matter. I just want to tell them, because I want people to know what's going on in the transaction. Because sometimes people just be sitting, and they don't know what's going on. So I always believe in communicating. And after I communicate, then I get on those people with getting them documents too. I'm communicating that too. So always just make sure you are communicating. Let me see. Ooh, my back hurt. Let me see. He said that money is supposed to trigger you to do all of that. But if all these things are an issue, that explains why the pay is $100 over the last 10 years. Absolutely. And the pay has went down, but a lot of it really, people are not really just taking their time in this business, educating themselves on how it works and what they can and cannot do. And I believe that if I can put the information out there, people really will take a step back and really take it seriously and be like, you know what? Let me take my time. Let me just really learn it. Just learn it. Just learn it. That's it. Is mobile notary same as loan signing agent? To really answer that question, in the notary industry, a mobile notary, what they consider is someone who just does general notary work. And loan signing agent is anyone who facilitate loan closings, who print. Basically, you're responsible for printing the documents, making sure they get to the borrower, make sure they sign them, and then also you're responsible for getting those documents back to the title company. So hopefully that answered your question, Miss Devante. All right, let me see. Okay, thank you, Mr. Boris. No, I would FedEx that even if in the same city. Yeah, and honestly, you can get FedEx can come to your house. To be honest with you, um, you can call them and have them come and pick up the documents, and kind of like arrange a time frame for them to come. So that's one thing that you all can do. Let me see. I already said that. Communicate. Oh, let's. So I said number 8. So I'm on number 9. Um, Another tip for being successful is make sure you're professional. Please make sure you're professional. Now, I'll be honest with you. Sometimes some of the things I see, the way some people communicate via email, I know if they communicating like that with me and I don't know them, I know how they communicating out there with the signing companies and other people. So make sure that when you're communicating via email, watch your tone. And I mean, typing in all caps, demanding things. There's ways that you could say things. It's all about it's not how you say, what is it? It's not how you say it, it's the way you say it, or something like that. Along those lines. Y'all get what I'm saying. But definitely learn about the communication part and writing these emails to people. Because people could tell when you're yelling at them and you're just being smart and sarcastic and stuff like that. And that stuff, honestly, just the way you communicate, someone cannot want to make you sign you up for more appointments. So make sure you're communicating correctly. Another thing with the professionalism, the appearance. Please making sure that when you're going to these closings, that you are wearing something presentable. Um, I know some people be wearing, yeah, it's not what you say, how you say it. Yeah, thank you, Miss Lady C. You know, my mom be going 100 miles per hour, so I just be thinking and talking. But anywho, your appearance. Make sure that you are wearing something that's appropriate. Um, please make sure you're wearing something appropriate. Some people wear jeans, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys. In 2021, jeans are a little bit different now. I mean, I'm not saying wear jeans, but I know for me, I know some of my jeans, they're not jeans. They're like kind of like slacks in a way, but I mean they're cute. You know, they're professional. I could throw on a nice little collar shirt and I look great, you know. But please guys, fellas, make sure you have them beards trimmed, haircut trimmed. Ladies, you know, get your hair done or make sure your hair is done at least. Yeah. Matter of fact, y'all can do it big too. Y'all can do makeup. You can do some lashes if you like. It's a bit much, but you could do it. It just depends on what you want to do. But definitely, your appearance is everything, in this business. Because sometimes too, if someone sees you walking in with tennis shoes and sandals and all kinds of like crazy things, they're not going to take you seriously. And really, they're looking at you like, well, what kind of business you running? You know, so definitely your appearance means a lot. Especially, you know, if you're going to be marketing to title companies, sometimes you really don't have to overdo it with them either. I mean, just having a nice pair of slacks, shoes that are comfortable that you can walk in, and a nice collar shirt, or you can just go and get a shirt made with your brand on it, and call it a day just like that. Griffin says beard on fleet. Yeah, guys, like come on, like we gotta make sure we looking good, and that appearance, you know what, that plays into your profile pictures too. Cause I done seen some pictures on some business card is a little questionable, you know. So maybe I feel so maybe if I just let people know, you know, about some of the things they're doing that ain't right. You know, make sure we have a nice, clean, professional headshot. Now, I'll be honest with you guys that you could take a professional headshot for the low. Some of these photographers, I mean, some of them might charge, some of them charge like $75, $100, $110. Just depends on where you go. I found a place doing it for 40, you know, but definitely guys, make sure you have a nice, clean, professional photo. Just have one. Like you can just take have one. Somebody do a nice, clean, professional headshot. You can use that professional headshot all your life. You know, no one's. It's not like dating sites where people like you don't look the same in your photo. It don't matter. As long as it's me. You know it's me. It's clearly look like me. Make sure you have a nice professional photo, clean photo and stuff. Because I've seen some questionable selfies out here. Um, Anywho, I'm not even gonna go into that. Oh, you know what? And then not only the pictures, the emails, make sure your email address matches what you do. You know, I see some questionable things. Hello Kitty. Oh man, I'm not even go into it, but make sure you have a nice professional email. That's why I always recommend everyone just create another email address for your notary business. So that way, you know, you can live your personal life and be you and be who you are. You know, if you want to be Miss Kitty Cat on the weekend, go ahead and be her. Be her on the weekend. But when you're doing your work, make sure that you have a professional email address that ties to that business. Oh, okay. I thought someone had sent me a message. So email, profile picture. Ooh, the voicemail. The voicemail too, matter of fact. Make sure you have a professional voicemail. Um, None of that. Uh, I'll be hearing music on people's voicemails and just all kinds of things. All them little pranks. You know, I can't stand the prank one. The one where people are like, hello, and you thinking you're talking to somebody. No, we need a clear voicemail telling people what you do. Sorry you couldn't answer the phone. And also in that voicemail, you could tell them how to contact you via if they could send you a text or something like that for a loan closing. Make sure you have your voicemail point. Like in this business, honestly, it's always like those little things. Those little things that you tend to probably look over, and a lot of people look over those little things. Their emails, their voicemails. People don't think about that. So it's really like kind of like, well, I remember go say a job because I've done seen some things on some people's resumes that shouldn't be there. But make sure that you are a professional. That's just pretty much what I want to sum it up to. So the last thing, but not least, is following directions. That is going to be the ultimate thing for you to be successful as a notary signing agent, is how well you follow the directions of the signing company or the title company. Um, that is honestly like that is what's going to set you apart from others. To be honest, a lot of the mistakes sometimes is happening in the loan closings is just from people not following the simple directions that are given to them. As long as those directions are within your state guidelines and it don't causes you to break the law, I don't see what the problem is following directions. And I won't go into detail on what you need to be following directions on. Example number one: if they say print all the documents on legal, that don't mean because I don't have because that don't mean you go, I don't have legal paper, I only got letters, so I want to print it on letter. No. The directions clearly stated print all on legal. If you have directions and it tells you exactly what to do on how to print the documents, print them just like that. And if you're having issues or something come up, or sometimes too with printing them documents, I'll be honest with you all. Sometimes it's not even us. Sometimes it's the way they send those documents too, because sometimes they'll send them to us not in legal size or not in paper size. So sometimes it don't be us. Sometimes it be them too. So just so I don't want nobody to think that they going crazy. Sometimes it be them, because I know I had situations where someone done she sent it wrong. I had to email her and know, like, you need to fix that. If you want me legal, don't send me no letter size file. Anywho, he said no sub. You know what to do. Voicemails. I heard those are the minute. Not only so back to the printing, you want to make sure you're printing them correctly. Also with the appointment times, that's another thing. Follow directions. If your appointment is at 4 o'clock, and that's the time that you confirm to with the borrower, do not call the borrower saying, I can't meet at 4, I can meet at 6 or 7 or whatever clock that you choose. That ain't right. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Now, there's times that some people negotiate a little bit, but do not take an assignment knowing that you can't fulfill that time at all. And more than anything, call the signing company and tell them that you can't fulfill it and take that L, take that loss. Do what you got to do. But always make sure that you could agree to the appointment time. Another thing with the signing file directions, make sure that you're signing in the correct color pen. If the signing company has a certain color they want you to use, then that's what you do. Now, if your state law says one thing, that's different. But you want to make sure that you are always following those instructions. And to be honest, the instructions, they're signing instructions. So when you first receive your signing, you get multiple instructions to think about it. They send you instructions as soon as you receive your confirmation email. You get instructions as soon as they send the documents. And normally there will be like a page where they're literally giving you instructions on how they want this closing to be done. Even as far as with printing, another thing, printing off the borrower's copies. A lot of times they will instruct you how that process works. You want to make sure that you are always following those instructions. And just to throw it out there with the borrower copies, make sure those get printed right too. Don't shortchange the customer because you want to shortchange it. Don't print it back back and forth or whatever the case may be, front to back. Don't do that just because you want to save on paper or whatever the case may be. And matter of fact, and I see another thing that's happening too. Instead of people giving a copy and printing it, they're just emailing them a copy. That ain't your lane to do that. So don't do that either. Follow the instructions. And honestly, when people don't follow the instructions, the basic instructions that the signing companies or the title companies are given, it makes it a lot harder for new notary signing agents, new people to really get started into this business. Because people are literally they're not following instructions. They're not following instructions. People are literally doing what they want to do in this business, and we can't have that. So really, follow instructions. That's the biggest thing. How you doing, June? But I think I'm gonna hop off, guys. I'm done my little 10 tips to help you all become successful notary signing agents. I really didn't go into training or anything because I didn't want to, because I feel like some of these, I wanted to go into these pre tips on how you can be a successful notary signing agent. So make sure you do your research before you come and sign an agent, see your requirements, understand your state laws, what you can and cannot do as a loan signing agent, notary signing agent. Make sure you have a full understanding of how the business actually works before you just hop into it. Because I know me, I take it seriously when people, especially if someone got their notary commission and then they found out they can't do loan signings. You know, I'll be taking the L for them because I'm like, dang, maybe did I tell them or what? You know, so I feel like, you know, I took that L. So it was very important for you guys to make sure you educate yourself, and then not only educate yourself, read the instructions, follow directions, and make sure that you're doing the right thing when it comes to these home closings. But you welcome everyone. I look forward to seeing you all. Hopefully, I can drop some more nice videos. If y'all have any ideas, just send me an email. We don't need to put underneath the comments because we got people doing some funny stuff out here. And plus, too, you know, I just want to interact with people. So make sure you send me an email if you do have questions. And I won't hop off. And you all, wish y'all the best of luck on your notary signing agent journey. Make sure you check out my website, the Notary Institution, and also make sure you check out the free guide that I have on there. And also some of the training programs that I have for you starting your own loan signing agent business or mobile notary business. And you all have an amazing night. Toodles.